Today we are talking about two new lenses from a company called Viltrox, a 22mm f1.4 and a 33mm f1.4. I've been using the EF to EFM speed booster pretty much since they released it, and I have absolutely loved that. But recently Viltrox has been trying to break out into the lens market, and they've made a few mirrorless lenses for Sony E-mount, Fuji X-mount, but now they have just released two brand new lenses that are native EF-M mount. And so me, who is kind of the M50 guy, Viltrox actually reached out to me and asked me if they could send me this 22mm and the 33mm. Whereas Viltrox did send me these lenses, they did not ask me to say anything nice about them. They gave me absolutely no talking points, and you will get my honest, unbiased review, and I will show you the actual image quality of these lenses. The only other brand besides Canon that is making autofocused, high-quality primes has been Sigma, and that is the market that Viltrox is now targeting. They are giving us two f1.4 super bright autofocus prime lenses. I recorded my last video at f1.4 with the 23mm, and right now I'm recording this segment at f1.4 with the 23mm. Now, first of all, the exterior of these lenses. Both of them are exactly the same size. They both have a 52mm filter threading, and they come with metal lens hoods. Now, what really makes these lenses special is it has an aperture control ring on the outside that allows you to dial in your aperture just like on a cinema lens. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's just more the hassle, and if we're doing photos, then we'll have to constantly be adjusting this aperture. If you spin the ring all the way past f16, it puts it into an auto mode, and it allows you to control the aperture through your camera. So if you want to do aperture priority, you still can. But if you want to adjust the aperture just minutely, you are able to do this on this lens. And Viltrox, if you're watching this video, that is one of my favorite things about your lens so far. Keep that on all of your EFM lenses going forward. What really matters about this is the image quality. I took full resolution photos with these lenses. First of all, the 23mm. Now, if you look at this image, when we zoom in to 400%, the brick in the center remains fairly sharp, but when you go out to the edges of the image, around the corners, it gets significantly softer. Now, when we go down to 2.8, it is sharper in the center, and when you go out to the edges, it is sharper, and by the time we get to f5.6, pretty much all of those sharpness issues go away, and we have sharp images from corner to corner. Going over to the 33mm, I found that to be a little bit sharper edge to edge than the 23mm. Again, go to 2.8, it gets better, and by 5.6, the image issues go away. So both of these lenses do really well at f5.6, do fairly well at f2.8, and do good enough at f1.4. The autofocus on these lenses is spot on. I will say, and this is true with all f1.4 lenses, that if you get too close and your depth of field gets shallow enough, then you're going to have a problem with autofocus on the M50. It doesn't like totally mess up or anything. In my last video, my eyes were in focus, but my shirt was out of focus because I was probably another 3 or 4 inches closer. Keep that in mind when you're working with any f1.4 lens. Shallow depth of field, if you're going too far, might end up becoming a hindrance more than a help. Now, I have had one problem with it, where if I go out of the shot, it feels like it doesn't automatically reacquire. Now, that I am positive is a software issue that Viltrox will be working on. This lens has a micro USB port, so that in the future, as the firmware gets better, we'll be able to update this lens and it'll work even better. Pricing on these lenses, I think, is absolutely phenomenal. The 23mm is $299, and the 33mm is $239. I think that is absolutely worth the price. Now, my message to Viltrox is this. If you can give us between a 10 and a 14 millimeter for the EFN platform, you will dominate. What is my final opinion on these lenses? This lens, the 23 millimeter and the 33 millimeter, have replaced my Nifty 50 with the speed booster and my 22 millimeter f2 in my camera bag. So if you're in the market for new lenses, give these a try. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a like. If you're an EOS M shooter and new to the channel, I have over 100 videos on how to use the M50 system. Subscribe if you like what you see, and I'll see you guys in the next video.